Yeah, I'd like to introduce myself. I'm Dr. Shepard. I'm running for the 4th Congressional District in the August 10th GOP primaries in Minnesota. My position is really a logical position. It's not a war protest. It's sort of a rethinking of our whole Middle East war strategy. To concentrate only on Afghanistan, and now thank God we're out of Iraq, it really isn't the current situation. The people who attacked us from Afghanistan are probably not alive or no longer there. These global jihad is a global jihad. They're in Afghanistan, they're in Sudan, they're in Yemen, they're all over the world. So to put such a major military force at risk of life and limb, and we've had the highest casualties this month in Afghanistan, it doesn't make sense. We have to do a rethinking of the situation. It's a war more of propaganda, minds, hearts, and souls. 3 months ago I was in Gaza and I saw sewage on the streets. I saw damage that's been sitting for 3 years. I saw very unhappy, discontented people with 80% unemployment and future radicalism of jihadisms and a potential. And the recruiters of these terrorists use like Gaza, ground zero, to recruit hundreds of thousands of militant people that would blow themselves up. They have no hope in life. They don't see the justice in American foreign policy. So it's not stopping and run. We cannot stop and run from Afghanistan or Iraq, but we can definitely phase back and be a presence so they know we are there, but we don't have to be walking the streets or trying to take over provinces because it doesn't make sense anymore. Bin Laden is probably dead. Those people aren't there. They don't have control. There's just as much terrorism homegrown in America as we're seeing by the New York failed bomb attempt. Thank God he wasn't very well educated. So we got to rethink it. It has to become a war of dialogue. My business, I've been doing it for 25 years. We have to talk, we have to reach out. And until Palestine is created, until Gaza has its lights turned on. I wrote an open letter to Secretary of State Clinton after she said we could have indirect talks with Hamas, which I did in March 17th and 18th in Gaza City through the Rafah border for you. Because until Gaza is normal, until Palestine is created, these radical jihad terrorist recruiters will use that against us. So it's no longer possible to win a war of guns and bombs and airplanes and roadside explosives. We are just losing body count. I don't want the American people to suffer 55,000 deaths like my generation when I volunteered during the Vietnam War. We have to rethink everything, have a presence throughout the world, balanced, secure, and not exposed on mountaintops in ridiculous areas to prove our point, to be bombed at, to be shot at, and to become targets. We have the ability, we have our technology, but we only can win this war by talking to Iran, even though they do not make too much sense. I won't go there, I haven't been there in 3 years. Syria's willing to participate. A little more pressure on Israel, make Palestine, because once you make Palestine, once you help Gaza, the terrorists cannot inspire the radicalism to send foreign fighters to kill our poor boys in Afghanistan. So to have 100,000 people in Afghanistan and have 100 die every month is completely meaningless. It is a world jihad against America inspired by a propaganda machine, and we have to counter their propaganda by actions. Like I told Secretary of State Clinton, you promised $300 million to Gaza. Turn on the lights for Gaza and you'll see a whole new look of America throughout the Arab world, because this isn't a jihad. President Bush used the wrong words. He didn't even fight in a war. He said, bring them on. Who was he to talk like that? My beautiful President Obama inherited a terrible situation, economic downturn, wars in 2 countries, just every possible thing, and now we have this Gulf War problem, and it's just going out of hand. So I repeat, you need people like me in Congress who have real on-the-ground, face-to-face contact with Hamas, Tehran, Syria, and they give me respect, I give them respect, and until we get their friendship, we will never get out of these wars until the body count will be so outrageous, so many poor people dead or handicapped, that the American public will pull us out, which isn't good. We should have a small presence in Afghanistan and in Iraq and Sudan, Yemen a little bit. We got to spread ourselves thin to use our intelligence, our beautiful military, brave soldiers to train these countries so they can defend themselves, because they don't want the jihad either. You think Egypt wants Al-Qaeda to take over Egypt? Do you think any country wants Al-Qaeda to take over their country? So we got to work with these countries, Arab countries, to protect them from Al-Qaeda. Thank you very much. And this is the knowledge that I want to bring to the next Congress. We got too many lawyers like Therese Collette. We have too many ex-lobbyists or friends of big lobby. We have people who've not been out of the country, have no idea how America is perceived in the world, let alone talking like I did 3 months ago to the same man who negotiated for Hamas in the Israeli prisoner swap for that soldier. And if I go back to Gaza and the Prime Minister of Israel keeps his word, we can get the Israeli soldier freed, we can get thousands of Palestinians, some of them are women and children, out of jail, and then we will look like America, that we can proudly show our flag, and it's a flag of freedom and friendship and love. Right now, in the whole world, they don't think that good of us. They're thinking better with President Obama. When President Bush was president, it was very difficult, but the whole world is, waiting for America, waiting for President Obama to put into action his words in his beautiful Cairo speech. And after this midterm election, President Obama, I pray I'll be in Congress to work with you, and I'll go anywhere, anytime, and spend as much time as it takes to get peace with Tehran, Damascus, and Kabul. Thank you very much.